Hi, let's make a very quick flash horoscope for Beyonce, trying to keep within 5 minutes, so you can see the potential of astrology and how you can read a chart with just the basic of astrology, the basic knowledge of astrology. This is not even in-depth at all. So this is Beyonce's horoscope. This is giving you the circular chart, and this is giving you the square chart. It's just the square chart starts the ascendant, the horizon, distant horizon, the ascendant is here. In the circular chart, the ascendant starts from here, but I want to teach you to work with both charts. That's why I'm giving you both as an example. So if you're using my birth chart calculator, you will get this kind of chart on my website, astrolada.com. If you're using most of the other birth chart calculators like astro.com, you'll be getting the circular chart. And let's quickly see what Beyonce is all about. I first immediately want to focus on the place of the horoscope which has the most planets. And if you can see, there are in the third house here, there are 4 planets: Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus. So whenever there is a focus of a lot of planets, it becomes a focus in the life of the person. So even without knowing who Beyonce is, I was going to say this person, third house is media. Third house is media, was newspapers, magazines, journalism, TV. So I would say this person will be either very much interested in media, or would be in the media, or be working around the media. So you know that the life of Beyonce is all about that, Also, third house rules ability to write. So this person, I would say, they can write. And actually they can write creatively, not some technical writing, maybe poetry, maybe lyrics, but creatively. Because the ruler of the fifth house, which rules creativity, it's Jupiter. Sagittarius is the fifth house, is in the third house of writing skills, of being able to compose, to write. So it's true, Beyonce writes a lot of her lyrics and a lot of her songs, and I will not be surprised if she even writes books further on in her life, later on, because it gives a skill as a writer, as an author as well, not only of poetry and music, but of books as well. And third house rules siblings and friends, co-workers, And in Beyonce's life, of course, her sisters were a big thing. Was it one sister or 2 sisters? But they started Destiny Child as a team. So I would say this person, brothers, siblings, brothers and sisters, or teammates, people that are your playmates as children, people who are your teammates as children, they'll play a big time. So she would participate in co-works in groups. And when you know Beyonce, this is in her music industry, in her band that she made it, and siblings and brothers and sisters, for her sisters and co-teams are big in her life, and they're part of her path in life. And then let's see the other houses as well. First house is the physical body. And Beyonce has Mars there, and Mars is a masculine, is like not masculine, but is the planet of the muscle. So she gives a nice muscly body, like a tight body, and very vigorous physical body, because Mars is the planet of almost like animalistic sexuality exuding. So this is what you see. This is not truly her. The ascendant doesn't show your true personality, it shows the image you portray. And what is her alter ego is Sasha Fierce. And Mars is the most fierce planet, is the warrior, is the overtly sexual, in-your-face sexual planet, raw sexuality, and she exudes it, It's her first house. The first house is the physical body, your aura that you see, and Mars is this physical, almost animalistic sexuality that she exudes. And Mars is a very movable planet that moves a lot, that acts, this focus on the body as well. And whenever the north node is, it's Rahu. Here it showed with this figure in the Western chart. Rahu shows your path of life that will be really stressed in this part of life, in this incarnation. Wherever the north node is, which is called Rahu as well, is where it becomes a great focus for the person. So for Beyonce, it's the physical body. So she would be able to have a jump into success, jump frog, and has a lot of focus on the physical body, on the physical image. And for her, it's definitely so. And especially whatever Rahu is, it kind of it's like putting a magnifying glass in that part of the horoscope. And for her, is the physical image, is the first house is the self. So she's like a diva, she's it's like a cult of the self. There is a cult of her, of the self, and she's in this life. She has to work on herself mostly. It's not about others. It's about her being on top there. So Rahu, the north node in the first house, expands it, so it makes it larger than life, And with Mars there is this sexuality, and Rahu is also a very raunchy planet. The North Node is one of the dirtiest planets in astrology, actually. Dirty in a very exotic, in a very sexual way, so to speak. So this like a double influence here, Mars and Rahu, they both have such a, very outward exposing energy, outward going, and Rahu expands as well, really emphasizes Mars there, which is this bestial sexuality, this vigor and energy in her as well, this fierceness in her. But also it can, if sometimes people like that can attract aggression or accidents and incidents or cut, burns, hitting herself here and there. So she has to be careful because she's accident prone. And I never wish her anything bad, or sometimes even violence. She can attract violence. People who are not outwardly physical, who have Mars and Rahu, who are not like moving, dancing all the time, who are like, who are not developing those Mars qualities like assertiveness and, this fierceness that she shows, this physicality, then they can attract the aggression from outside. So they have to learn to be, and she's doing the right things. That's why Rahu Mars is not showing its darker side. And also, whatever planet is in the first house always shows, the first house is your path in life. And whatever planet is there shows what is part of your path in life, what is put in front of you, what becomes one of the biggest influence in your life. And Mars rules the sign Aries and the sign Scorpio. So Aries rules her ninth house, and this is the house of luck. So she's definitely lucky. People who have the ruler of the ninth house in the first house, they have bigger luck than other people. They're like born on the lucky star, so to speak. And fourth house is the house of the mother. So the mother will be a very strong presence in her. So a very strong person as well, I think, because the mother is ruled by Mars, like trying to run her life or tell her what to do, just very present in her life. And ninth house, as I said, rules luck and happiness. Luck in the person's life. So this person is very lucky, but it rules also really religious attitude and religious state of mind and spirituality. So for her, I believe she was very religious. She always talks about God, and that's why it makes people lucky, because they have strong faith in life, because they have a strong faith in God or in the meaning of life for some people. That's why they kind of tend to be lucky in this life, like protected by the gods. Then let's not forget the biggest thing in her horoscope. It's her voice, and the second house rules the voice. If the first house is the body, the aura, the second house is the voice. And we have the sun there, the brightest planet. This is where she shines like a star. This is where she's larger than life. It's her voice. It's very expansive, big. It can reach high pitches. This is the sun, the mighty voice. Let's say mighty, brilliant voice, So definitely this is what happens with her. And Whitney Houston, for instance, has Jupiter, another benefic, very big planet, the other most expansive planet. So she has also such a big voice, Whitney Houston. But people with Sun in the second house can often have very beautiful voices. Not always, because sometimes other things can be blocking. Like I have Sun in the second house, but I can't sing because I have some Saturn, Mars, which are blocking influences. So they detract from the power of the voice or the beauty of the voice. But she has it wonderfully. And then let's see her relationships. It's seventh house rules her marriage, and there she has on the cusp of seventh house Aquarius, which is a sign ruled by Saturn. And Saturn means that either the marriage is a bit delayed after 30, or when Aquarius or Capricorn is in the seventh house, or it means that your partner is at least 7 years older than you, 7 years age difference. And Jay-Z, I think, is 11 years older than her, so it works out really well. And there is also the influence here. We look at the ruler of the seventh house to see more details about the person she will marry. And it is Saturn, which is in the sign of Libra, where Saturn is exalted. It is the strongest position of Saturn. So it means the partner is exalted. The partner is like from really high quality. Well, I don't know as a person, but like he's really exalted. He's out there, and also he's teaching her to develop third house skills, like media presence, because he's activating her third house, maybe her writing skills as well. And also third house is the house of initiation, making a person more initiative in their life. So this person, definitely Jay-Z or whoever the husband is, and the partner, help her develop her third house qualities, which is courage, which is self-starting, initiating, putting her much more out in the presence of the media and all of this kind of stuff. And helping her do projects with others, like collaborations and things, which are all teaming up with others is third house. But also there is like a malefic influence in the seventh house of the partner, which is the south node. And it's a bit of a distant planet, so usually it shows past life connections. So the first husband of this lady, which is Jay-Z, it's definitely a past life karma. Like they were together in past life, they met each other, they recognized each other, they immediately knew each other. When you see someone with south node in the seventh house, they usually either marry young because they meet someone, but also it's about, because it's south node, it's past life, you need to resolve this karma in this life. So there might be usually, in some cases, there is dissolvement of the marriage, of the first marriage of such person. And I don't want to say too bad things or anything, but there is an inclination towards that, you know, when there is the south node in the seventh house, like gradual drifting apart of the couple. Or if the couple, in her case, her marriage is more protected because Jupiter, the great benefic, sends a wonderful trine aspect to the seventh house, which the ancient says can save a difficult aspect, can save a marriage. So we have more stability here than normally with the south node in the seventh house. But it's the partner might feel a bit distant at times, like probably a lot of you have noticed how she expresses her affection towards him while he's like a bit more distant. She talks much more about him than he does about her. So there is this Ketu is this emptying influence. So there can be like from his side a bit less of the affection and the attention that she would like. But it's only so she can focus on her first house to develop her own image, to do her own things, to find her own authentic path in life. So you see how very quickly we do a quick analysis of the main positions of the planets in her horoscope without going into any in-depth situations or anything in astrology which can give us details and whatnot. But we saw how it covered the most important areas in her life, how they're really shown there. And actually, as you can see, all of her planets are below horizon, you see? If this is the horizon, this is above the ground, what you see, this is below the ground. So when she was born, her planets were below the ground, which means she's a very private person. She's a very hidden person. Even if with her presence in media and newspapers and everything, it's all controlled, you know. It's all kind of, you don't see her stumbling out of nightclubs and everything. Her information of her is leaked under control. So she doesn't want people to get under her privacy. She doesn't want to be too much in the spotlight unless she's performing. And it shows also emotional self-sufficiency, you know, so she doesn't need many people. She can be emotionally self-contained. But anyway, thank you very much. And if you'd like a horoscope, if you'd like any specific answer to your questions, you can always contact one of my great psychics and astrologers, or even have a reading with me at astrolada.com. And we're always there 24 hours for you, so you can call us at any time of the day. We'll be online for you. Thank you.